Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be changing the oil on this 2014 F-350 with the 6.2 liter gas engine. Just a simple oil change, but let me walk you guys through it. As you can tell, the truck is up on the lift. Here's what we're going to be using to make that happen today. I got a 16 millimeter socket that's going to be taking out the oil plug, the new oil filter. There's the number, 5W20 full synthetic. It's almost 7 quarts, so that's what I have here. As you put the oil back into the engine, you know, maybe put 5, 6 quarts, check the dipstick and see if you need any more, then you add a little bit more. All right, we're gonna go underneath the truck and I'll show you what needs to be done here, okay? That's the oil plug right there, as you can tell. And that's what I'm gonna be taking off to get this old oil out of the engine. So I got my 16 millimeter socket. I did break it loose already just to make it easier for me as I'm videoing. So there you see the oil starting to come out. And this is the tricky part. As you're unscrewing it, keep tension on the bolt. And once you think you got it all the way out, just gonna pull it right out so the oil comes rushing out of there. There you go. We'll drain that first. Once the oil's completely drained, and then we'll take out the oil filter, which is right next to it. You can see right there is the oil filter. So oil filter's right here. This is the oil filter right here. And I'll show you how to get that out. Okay? Here's a new filter that I'm going to be putting in. I'm going to use this oil filter wrench to remove the old one and to install the new one. So it just kind of goes right over the oil filter, just like that. And then you just put a regular socket on it and you tighten it or loosen it, okay? Now, the oil is completely drained out of the engine. So I'm going to put that plug back in using my 16 millimeter socket, just like I did to remove it, okay? And there's the oil. It is just about done. It's just dripping now. So I normally like to clean that area out with a rag, okay, really good. Get the drain plug. Make sure it's clean. There is a little magnet at the end of these things, or if you have issues with the engine, you get some metal shavings that might go there. So make sure that is clean and there's nothing there. And you tighten this in by hand first. Always tighten it in by hand. And once you get it snuggled up by hand enough where you can't tighten it anymore, then you switch over to the socket. Got my socket, and you just tighten it. You know, nice and snug, obviously. You want the engine oil dripping back out of there once you fill it up with the new one. So that is done. I'll slide this over and we'll take out the oil filter, which is right here. Now I already loosened it because it's easier for me to do that. So as you can see, there's still going to be oil in there, and let that drain out. Let that drain out. Sometimes when you try to pull these filters out, you end up with a big mess. Let it drain out. Turn it slowly. And there you go. Oil filter's out. Let it drain. And I'll grab the new one in a minute and put it in. Okay, the drain, the oil is completely drained out of this area where the oil filter was. Now, normally what I like to do is take a rag and just clean that around there really good. You want that to make a nice tight seal, okay? And here is the new filter. Now, I usually get the oil filter. I get a little bit of oil. Get a little bit of oil. And I just put it on this rubber seal. Okay. Just like that. Then you take the oil filter and you hand screw it into place. Okay, nice. I could not specify that in anymore. Hand tighten it first. 100%. Hand tighten it. Hand tighten. Then you could put your wrench on it. And give it a couple turns so you can tighten it. And you don't want it awfully tight either. No, you want it snug on there so no oil leaks out, but you don't have to get crazy with it. There you go. That's tight enough for my liking. Okay, so that's pretty much it under here, guys. I'm going to lower the truck and start putting some fresh oil into it. So I popped open the hood. So if you're facing the truck from the front side here, on the left side here, you're going to find the oil fill cap. So you just remove that. And like I showed you before, it's a 5W20 for this truck. All right. Get yourself a nice long funnel. Make sure it's clean. Put it right there, and then you're going to be dumping the oil into that. Okay, I think I mentioned it earlier. This takes roughly 6.5 quarts of oil, or somewhere around there. So I just put 5 in there. Now I'm going to put another quart. And then normally what I will do is let it sit for a few minutes and check the dipstick to see where I'm at with the oil. So as soon as I get a chance to do that, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But this is the 6th quart going in there. I'm sorry, 6th. All right, here's the dipstick. This is transmission. The oil one's right back here. So we'll pull that out and we'll check to see what we got. And not sure if you could pick it up on camera, but I do need to put a little bit more in there. So I'm gonna put another quart, or at least start with half a quart, and we'll see. All right, we're good. I did have to put another 3/4 of a quart in. I checked it. I am good there. I put the oil cap back on here. So we're pretty much done here in the front of the truck, or the engine part. I'm going to go into the truck. I'm going to show you guys how to reset the oil life on these trucks. All right, to reset the oil life on these things, you just turn the ignition to on. Go over to the button here on the steering wheel. You're going to go to the menu. See right there where it says oil life. And just hold the reset button. Oh, went away, I took too long. Oil. Hold the reset button. And then it automatically says set to 100%. So that's pretty much it. All right, guys. So that's how you do that. That's how you reset it to 100%. Turn the ignition on. Go over to the right-hand side here where you have these. Go through the menu. Go through oil life. And then once you find that, you just hold the reset button until it says new. 100%. All right, as you can tell, the truck was pulled out of the garage. It is all set as far as the oil change. Once again, guys, thank you very much for tuning into the channel. I hope the video will help you in your oil changes. Most of this is pretty much the same. Doesn't really matter what vehicle you're doing, except obviously what type of oil you're using, what type of filter you're using. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward when it comes to an oil change on most vehicles. Okay. I know nowadays it's very easy to take it down to your local oil change place and get it done. But if you're just a little bit handy, do it yourself. At least you know it's getting done the right way. I'm sure we've all heard some horror stories about oil change places that, you know, can really screw up a vehicle if it's not done right. All right, thank you so much, and keep an eye out for future videos. Thanks.